Okay, l'chaim everybody, l'chaim l'chaim everybody, l'chaim. You should know Farbrengen is a special time. There's a story with the Baal Shem Tov, with the Alter Rebbe. Here's the story. I'm saying this to make a short point, not a long point. Rabbi Shneir Zalman of Liadi, as we call him, the Alter Rebbe, the old rabbi, the founder, the father of Chabad, the author of the Tanya, had many teachers, had several teachers, who he considered very, very important. His first teacher was the Holy Maggid. Second teacher was his son, that they called Avram the Angel. And his third teacher was Menachem Mendel of Horodok. That's the name Menachem Mendel comes into Chabad. The Alter Rebbe had a teacher whose name was Menachem Mendel, and he named his grandson after his teacher, Menachem Mendel. Menachem Mendel of Horodok was a holy man, great man, and he was the third of the Alter Rebbe's Rebbes in terms of Chassidus. So the Alter Rebbe hid out. He didn't want to be a Rebbe. He delayed taking a position of responsibility as long as he possibly could. So there's a story, which is, it's well known in Chabad, but it's an important story to know, that there was a gathering, a Chassidic gathering, like this one here. People were sitting together, but the Rebbe wasn't present. The Holy Master was in the other room. It was just the guys, they were sitting around by themselves. I don't think they were smoking cigars because they couldn't afford it, but whatever they were doing, they were saying l'chaim, they were singing a song, they were talking, they were lifting each other up. And by the way, everything in the shtetl was very small. We imagine there's more people in this room than there were in the whole of Lubavitch, almost. It's not so much of an exaggeration. But when you have a few people around, every person is very important. So they were sitting at a Farbreng like this. I don't know how many people were gathered. And a man stands up, a fellow gets up, and he says to the assembled, I wasn't feeling well. And I visited a doctor. And the doctor gave me a sentence. The Rebbe used to say doctors were authorized to heal, not to pass sentences. But this doctor gave him a sentence, and it wasn't a sentence for a long life. He was obviously very upset. So this man says, the doctor says, there's nothing you do for me. I'm asking you all to give me a blessing that I should be well. So there's a group of Hasidim sitting at a table, and one of their friends gets up and gives them the worst news in the world. I went to the doctor, and the doctor gave me this and this sentence. I need a blessing. So they said to this Chassid, the Rebbe is in the next room. The Holy Master, the great Tzaddik, is in the next room. Go into him. His blessings work. Our blessings are good for a shahakal, to eat a little food. Our blessings, we can get blessings. He says, no, I do not want a blessing from the Rebbe. I want a blessing from the guys. And they developed an argument. Leave it to Jews. This man is asking, please, give me a blessing. No, go to the Rebbe. So which, if you think about it in hindsight, you can't even understand how it happened. But it happened. So after they argued for a while, he became very upset. He started to cry. What did I ask you? I didn't ask you for any money. I asked you for a bracha. What's the big deal? And he started to cry. And it created a very unusual mood in the room. Because the people didn't mean any harm. They were just being honest. We can't get brachas. We can't get blessings. Go to the Rebbe. He's saying, no, I want a blessing from the guys, not from the Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe was sitting in that group, like one of the people. Everybody knew that he wasn't exactly like them, but they treated him like one of the guys. And when this whole thing unfolded and this man began to cry, the Alter Rebbe stood up. This meant, when a person like the Alter Rebbe would stand, it meant that he was going to repeat something from his Holy Master, from the Holy Maggid. He stood up, became very quiet. And he said to them, very famous, this is very famous in our culture, in Chabad, that I heard from my teacher, in the name of the Holy Baal Shem Tov, that a Chassidic gathering has an enormous power. When people get together for a Chassidic gathering, and you tell a story, you say l'chaim, and you wish each other well, and just sitting together, you get a couple people in the room and they can tolerate one another, great miracle. I'm sure you've heard this 1,000 times. When people love each other, there's always enough room. And when people can't stand one another, the room is never big enough. You get together people, and people are sitting so close to one another, which means that there's a warmth. It has a power. So the Alter Rebbe said in the name of the Baal Shem Tov that a Chassidic gathering has more power than the Archangel Michael, who's our official advocate. He said in Yiddish, a Chassidish Farbrengen can uftan, was Malach Mecholon Soren Sheisol can nicht uftan, which means a gathering of Chassidim who sit together in brotherly love, in familiar love, can achieve what even the angel Michael cannot achieve. Why? Because of the closeness, the brotherhood. It's not so much that they're so holy and so special. When people tolerate each other, get along, share with one another, it's very powerful. And he gave an example. If you have a need, and you come to your father and you ask him for what your need is, right? Usually it's money, right? Now I'm the father, I know. I used to come to my father with needs, and now I became the father. I'm a chaya. Yeah. Give me a check and keep your mouth shut, right? I just give you opinion, I just ask you for your money. Sounds familiar? It happens. A child comes to his father and he wants something, so the father says, why do you need it? Why do you deserve it? And what are you going to do with it? What if you're going to waste it? And the kid says, I regret even asking you. You're terrible, you're miserable. Every time I ask you something, you make me feel so guilty. But if a kid has a need, and all of his brothers and sisters come to the old man and say, Papa, so-and-so wants something. Don't examine it so carefully. Just give him what he wants. So all the siblings come together, they say to the tata, to the old man, to the father, Moshe, Chaya, Berel, Chaya, Brocha, Shena, she wants something, give him what they want. So when the father sees the love between the siblings, it neutralizes his tendency towards criticism and exactitude and precision and calculation, and he gives whatever you want. So the Alter Rebbe said, you have a Farbrengen, we sit together. The fact that we're sitting together neutralizes the Eibishter's judgment, God Almighty's judgment, and at a Farbrengen we can bless each other and wish each other all the best. So the truth is, this is a Chassidic gathering, and it's also a very holy day. It's a great opportunity to wish one another well. First of all, health. All the money in the world cannot buy health. Hashem should bless all of us and all that is connected to us directly and indirectly. With health, health, health. In the davening, in the prayer, we say in the morning, I don't know if you know the Hebrew, V'halei arucha u'refuah shleima. The word arucha means an extension. A person is ill, give him an extension. Come back tomorrow. Refuah shleima means a complete healing. Complete healing means it's gone. It's not coming back tomorrow. Hashem should bless us all with full health for us and for our families. Hashem should bless us with peace. Peace is a big deal. You can't buy it. And unfortunately, we don't appreciate what it is until we don't have it. We have to invest in it, right? And where's the first place you have to have peace? What's the first layer of peace? The first layer of peace is the most difficult one to pile on. It's peace with ourselves. Before the spouse, that's next. Just ourselves. Just to get along with you, to be at peace with yourself. The greatest blessing in the world is that a person likes what he has. The worst curse in the world is for a person not to be at peace with himself. And if you're not at peace with yourself, you can't be at peace with anybody. If you find a way of being at peace with yourself, you can be at peace with the person closest to you, with your spouse, with your children, with your parents, with your siblings. And then she goes a lot of guilt. And you know what else we need? Asach seichel. Because if we have no wisdom, everything God gives us will become a curse. We'll see to it. We'll arrange it, you see. The human mind is very, very creative. There's 101 ways to make a good stew go bad. It's not difficult. We should have the wisdom and the humility to know what's important and to value it and to prioritize it and to find meaning and joy and satisfaction in it. And Hashem should bless us all that we should be zeichet to the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu. We should see the Rebbe, it's our wish and our hope, and we should be redeemed. The whole world should be redeemed. I teach kids all the time, and I talk to them about Mashiach. I'm sure if you're in a Chabad house, you've heard about Mashiach. You know what Mashiach means? You know what Mashiach means? Honestly, this is the truth. I'll tell you the truth. No propaganda. I'll tell you the whole truth. Mashiach means a very, very simple thing, but it's not easy. Simple, but not easy. Mashiach means that every human being on this planet, Jew and Gentile, who for the most part, know what's right. I don't think people have a problem with knowing what's right. They have a problem with doing it. Most people, most of the time, really know what they should do. But they're lazy, or they're indulgent, or they have a self-interest. or they're holding a grudge, or whatever the case is. Mashiach simply means that human beings can be human beings. That's all. If every one of us just was as righteous as our mind, we would live the way our brain understands how each one of us is. Not I should tell you how to live because I'm the expert, and you should tell me how to live because you're the expert. I should tell me how to live and listen. You should tell you how to live and listen, and you should tell you how to live and listen. That's all Mashiach means. The miracle of Mashiach is not a miracle. It's just people growing up. That's what it is. Mashiach's a human being who has so much power. Mashiach's a person. That's our belief. He's a human being. And he has the ability to teach people not just to understand righteousness, but to be righteous. So no miracles have to happen for the world to become a good place. All we have to do is grow up. Now you know how hard it is to grow up? I avoid looking in the mirror. I can't tell you why. But if we could all just be what we know we're able to be. All of us have ills. Some of those ills are not our fault. But some of those ills are laziness and bad habits and paranoia and jealousy, and I can go on and on and on. You've heard this 1,000 times. If we could get past those things, because they're really not important, we would be better people. We would be happier people. But it's easier, or it's more pleasurable to be angry at this one and hold a grudge against that one, and not to forgive the third one, and to have a really legitimate reason why you're staying in bed. And Mashiach teaches us how to grow up. And the miracle is not going to be that he's going to teach. The miracle is going to be that we're going to learn. We're going to let him teach us these lessons, and we're going to be inspired to be better people. That's what Mashiach really means. Mashiach is about people being what people were meant to be by the Creator. So l'chaim v'levracha, we should be zeichet in Malcham Mashiach, take it from a yad, and we should have all the blessings in the world for us and for our families, and for all those that we know and that we concerned ourselves with. And Hashem should protect our brothers and sisters in the Holy Land. Amen. And Hashem should shower upon the Jewish people, really, listen, let's be honest, peace. Rabbi Yossi Paltiel, real peace. Peace doesn't mean I'm living in peace, I'm looking over my shoulder. Peace. And the beginning of that peace, even in the state of Israel, is that the Jewish people should like themselves. And they should be proud of who they are. And they should do what they need to do to protect themselves and honor themselves. And then the world will be a more peaceful place. The world will be a more peaceful place. Hashem yevorech es amei b'shalom. L'chaim everybody. L'chaim v'levracha. L'chaim v'chaim t'el l'shalom. L'chaim v'levracha. L'chaim v'levracha. L'chaim v'levracha.